Greetings, nerdlings, and welcome to AmalgamNation Presents World of Lorecraft, Racecraft, Tuskarr Edition. The Tuskarr are humanoid walrus people who live in Northrend. They make their home along the southern coast of the continent, having settlements in Borean Tundra, Dragonblight, and Howling Fjord. The Tuskarr culture is centered around fishing and whaling, such that a Tuskarr's fishing ability is seen as a moral guideline of sorts. Tuskarr females farm the few crops that grow in the tundra, while also collecting a variety of berries and roots. Animal husbandry exists in the Tuskarr culture, including the breeding of penguins as farm animals. Tuskarr are humanoids with solid builds, thick torsos and broad shoulders. They wear warm furs on their oilskin jackets. Their heads are blunt and almost hairless, with a pair of great tusks pointing down from their upper jaw. Their brown faces are friendly and expressive. Due to their walrus-like attributes, some Tuskarr have been known to hold their breath for 10 to 15 minutes underwater. However, they rarely explore into the depths of the icy seas. Tuskarr culture and society. The Tuskarr are peerless fishermen and whalers. Their self-contained economy is based on the ocean's bounty. These stout-hearted creatures have a budding society along the frozen coasts of Northrend. Although the Tuskarr do not yet have an organised society, their villages lay scattered across icy beaches, bustling with activity and commerce. Communities are established to help with fishing, animal husbandry and defence rather than political interest. The family is the primary social structure, and Tuskarr have no community figureheads aside from familial leadership roles. Kinship usually involves 3 generations from both the mother and father's sides. Functionally, these extended families are treated as one, so the action of a member is the responsibility of the entire group. Marriage occurs as soon as a man can support a wife, and for females as soon as they reach puberty. Tuskarr languages. Most Tuskarr do not learn more than Tuskarr and Common, but those who do speak the tongues of their enemies understand Low Common and Zandalai. Tuskarr families. The Tuskarr are simple people who place extreme emphasis on family values. Their hierarchy includes the family first, the larger community second, and the individual third. Because of the vulnerability of the Tuskarr, however, the families tend to keep close proximity with the others. When the families must coordinate, a family is picked at random to take charge for that particular situation. Each family has its own implicit leader, but the entire family bears responsibility for each of its members. Tuskarr law. Tuskarr laws are simple. No Tuskarr may avoid helping tend to the needs of the settlement, gathering food, making clothing and housing, patrolling and defence, etc. The sea is communal property for fishing and whaling. Catches are divided among the community as much as is feasible, with those who miss out on one catch getting first choice the next time. Tuskarr individuals have personal property, but possession is conditional by actual use. Tuskarr laws are not meant to punish criminals as much as they are meant to maintain community peace and prosperity. Punishment is mild, usually aimed at injuring one's social position through gossip, ridicule, or ostracism. Still, some matters are taken seriously. Blood vengeance is always required in return for the taking of a life, which may result in an ongoing feud. Tuskarr Shamans. Tuskarr Shamans have the power to influence events such as weather, food, and illnesses. Shaman magic is often quite a production. Even something like curing the sick, the shaman may speak with ghosts of the patient's relatives and even battle other spirits into submission before forcing them to help heal the patient. The Tuskarr and hunting. Fishing and whaling form the basis of everything from moral guidance to conversational slang. Boys strive to be good fishermen and girls dream of marrying a good whaler. Success in fishing is a sign of right living, and failure is a sign of moral disorder. The Tuskarr afterlife is imagined as a paradise with choice catches and successful whaling without hard work. To visit a Tuskarr village, visitors must bring several fresh fish along to prove they can fish. Fishing is more than just a means to survive for Tuskarr. It's also a moral guideline. If they think that someone cannot fish well, that is a bad person. So evidence of successful fishing means someone must have good morals and therefore must be respectable. If a person brings several large fish, he is treated like a long-lost and much-beloved cousin. On an in-game note, just to let anybody who's thinking this is the way it is in the game, you don't have to bring fish with you if you're questing in an area with the Tuskarr. They might ask you to go and retrieve some fish, but you don't have to show up with fish. Tuskarr religion. Tuskarr have simple rituals relating to social rather than religious circumstances, such as birth, marriage, sickness and death most prominently. Other rituals relate to celebrating a good catch and venerating those who are lost at sea or who fall in battle. The Tuskarr also worship a small pantheon of deities or spirits such as Teulka, Karkut, and Isliruk. War and the Tuskarr. The Tuskarr often war with the indigenous ice trolls and Nerubian spider folk of Northrend. Though they have done well to evade the undead scourge, the Tuskarr know that it is only a matter of time before the legions of the dead come calling. Tuskarr favour spear weapons and nets as their primary tools of war. Tuskarr warriors coordinate in combat, each working to ensure the well-being of the others. Typically, one member of a squad will attempt to snare an enemy in a net, while the others attempt to dispatch the trapped opposition with their spears. Tuskarr are peaceful people, but they show little mercy to ice trolls, Nerubians, and anyone else they consider their enemies. While they sometimes organise raids against foes that threaten the ancestral territories where they build their villages, the Tuskarr more frequently defend against their enemies. Anyone wreaking havoc on a Tuskarr village, however, unleashes the full wrath of these people. The Tuskarr are disciplined and well organised, and each of them takes the defence of his family and village seriously. For many Tuskarr, it is a matter of survival, but also of pride, to be prepared against any threat. Because of their reliance on fishing and whaling, Tuskarr receive training in the use of nets and spears at a young age. All Tuskarr also receive at least rudimentary training in ways to put these implements to use against an intelligent foe. Warriors patrol the areas surrounding their villages and act as lookouts in strategic locations. These warriors warn their people of impending attack. While they follow no particular leader, Tuskarr fight in squads composed of 6 to 8 members of the same lineage. The Tuskarr abide by the recommendations of the individual with the most warfare experience, or the one they consider the wisest among them if no warriors are in the group. Most often, the leadership of a squad is divided among 2 or 3 members deemed learned in matters of war. Because the members of a squad are family, the Tuskarr warriors are not only extremely loyal to one another, but also get along together. They are also used to working together after many years spent fishing and whaling with their brothers, and thus are efficient as a unit in times of war. Sometimes a squad includes a couple of specialists. The most common specialist is the net thrower, a dexterous fisherman with some experience in warfare whose mastery with the net causes great trouble to opposing troops. Sometimes a squad also includes 1 or 2 javelin throwers. These warriors carry up to a dozen javelins and provide useful cover fire to the members of the squad. Also, when such an individual is available, a squad includes a shaman who can cast spells to hamper the opposition or heal the troops. Tuskarr architecture. Tuskarr houses are solidly built structures of wood and stone with thick thatched roofs. They are only 1 story and sprawl rather than rise because of the incessant wind. Heavy shutters cover the windows, and short entry halls lead from the outer door to an inner one, which keeps heat from escaping and cold from entering. Their homes are radial with a single large chamber at the middle and the sleeping quarters arrayed around it. They have large pits in the centre lined with stone and keep a fire blazing constantly. It heats the entire house and has spits and trays for cooking food. Tuskarr are fishers and whalers, and they use every part of the animals they hunt. Whale bones form support beams in their homes, and heavy seal skins and other furs cover the floors and the doorways. They create dyes from various squid inks and fish scales and have colourful weavings on their walls. In addition, the Tuskarr carve massive stone heads similar to the Easter Island heads that allow the Tuskarr to communicate with their ancestors. It is assumed that each head can only be used for a specific spirit. Tuskarr clothing. Tuskarr inner clothing is brightly coloured under their thick furs and oilskins. When a Tuskarr woman accepts a Tuskarr man as her husband, she weaves him a vest and he wears that against his skin. She replaces it once they have children, and again if he becomes the head of their extended family. She repairs it when necessary, but otherwise he never takes it off. When males die, they are buried in their most recent vest, and the others are wrapped together to fashion a pillow for the body. Tuskarr in Wrath of the Lich King. According to the lore from the Wrath of the Lich King expansion, the Tuskarr form an alliance with the culturally similar Horde and help establish the outposts of Warsong Hold. It should be noted, however, that the Tuskarr are a neutral faction, and both the Horde and Alliance are able to interact with them. Inspirations for the Tuskarr. While the Tuskarr appear to be inspired mostly by Inuit stereotypes, concept art also features Maui-like statues, so there might be influences from South Sea Island cultures as well, specifically Easter Island or Rapa Nui. The poem of the walrus and the carpenter found in Lewis Carroll's Through the Looking Glass was also an inspiration. Possible outside influence from 1980s cult cartoon Thundercats, which featured a species known as Tuskarr, who were humanoid walruses. Possible, though extremely unlikely, outside influence from the game Animal Crossing. In the game, Wendell the walrus, a humanoid walrus who greatly resembles the Tuskarr, forms his opinion of the player based on the kind of fish the player brings him. Wendell will not give you any paintings, nor will he pay any attention to you, except for a few mumbles, unless you bring him a fish, which is his favourite food. This trait is nearly identical to the Tuskarr judgment of outsiders based upon the fish they present. The term Tuskarr could possibly come from the word Tuskarr, which means giant rocks in the Old Norse language. There is also a Tuskarr River in Russia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing these words right, by the way, so don't bitch and moan at me. Some players theorise a connection or mutual ancestor between the Tuskarr and Pandaren races. This is based on a number of coincidences and parallels, such as the fact that both races use giant turtles for transportation and the shamanistic nature of their cultures. One possibility is that the Tuskarr are an offshoot of the Pandaren that adapted to the harsh northern climate after the Sundering. Before this vid ends, I'd just like to say that I've had some messages from people I know about the sound quality of these vids. They're saying that it might be a little bit too quiet, so I'm trying something new in this vid. Let me know, is it any better? And as always, remember, play to game and game to play.